Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Good Here again guys, as usual. Today we'll be reacting to a video. It says Candace Owens Q&A. Crazy liberals and Black Lives Matter. Guys, this will be interesting because I've been seeing a couple of these videos around and I like, okay, let me check them out. So guys, without wasting much time, let's get right into today's video.
As a non-binary person, what do you have to tell me about my identity? Because I know for a fact I'm not confused.
Okay, next question. Great statement. That's a statement. That's a statement. Okay, you know your identity. You're not confused. Congratulations, sweetheart. Thank you very much for your statement. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I was wondering where you got your statement, your statistic about people who transition, detransition, as well as that you are infertile after transitioning. Because I myself take hormones. I do testosterone injections, and I've gone through a lot of doctors, and none of them told me that was true.
Okay, so on my podcast, I actually cite all the sources. If you look up my name and my podcast, you can, it's in so many articles. And also, as I said, sexchangeregret.org actually lists all of these statistics with their sources. So obviously, I can't give you a hyperlink as I'm standing on the stage, but you can definitely find it on my podcast, and you can find it on sexchangeregret.com. Thank you for the question. That was, I think, the first question we got there. Hi.
According to Britannica, the definition of the nuclear family has expanded with the advert of same-sex marriage. Children in nuclear families may be couples' biological or adopted offspring. Does this mean that the merch you sell supporting, nuclear families means that you support trans couples adopting, gay couples adopting, and spreading this rhetoric that you talk about?
So you're talking about the expansion of definition. So right now they've expanded the definition of woman to include biological males. This gets back into what I was saying earlier about the left's controlling linguistics and just pretending that, okay, a nuclear family can now be two trans parents that are adopting a child. That is not the nuclear family unit that I am talking about. I believe that I am talking about marriage between a male and a female, which naturally and biologically produces children. So no, I do not take that new updated definition of what it means to be a woman or what it means to be a nuclear family. Thank you for your question, though. Hi.
Hello, my question is a little bit of a different speed. Earlier today you mentioned Patricia Cullors or somebody from the BLM movement, and you said that her only qualifying factors for speaking about different things and issues was because she was black. And during the White House hearing about white supremacy, you was on that, and a question was asked whether white supremacy is a threat or not, and your only qualification to speaking on that was being black. So what do you say to people that say you're being a hypocrite?
Yeah, so I didn't say on this stage that Patricia's only qualification was being black. I said that people gave her tens of millions of dollars, had no idea where it was going to go, and were happy to do it because she was pirating. She just kept saying Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. It was stupid. They lost their money. Bad investment. Oh well, too bad, so sad. Regarding qualifications to speak on what's harming Black America, you just have to be able to examine actual statistics, right? Are you telling me, would you honestly say that when you walked into this room today, you were afraid that white supremacy was going to kill you? I asked this to Black people, to be honest. Are you afraid that a Klansman is going to come down the street on horseback and pick you up? Be honest.
I'm personally not afraid.
Okay, so that's it. So when I was speaking at the congressional testimony, I was saying, my experience being black in America, I don't know any black people that are fearful to walk down the street because they think a Klansman's going to come get them, right? But I can list you tons of black people that grow up in poverty, that grow up in the hood, that grow up around gang culture, that are fearful. When you examine black on black crime rates, when I was just talking about illiteracy rates, I said that I could list 100 things the black community is suffering from today before I got to white supremacy, and yet the focus and the emphasis in the school system has been to brainwash us to believe that white people want to kill us around every single corner, and I think that that's a harmful ideology because it doesn't allow us to actually focus on the things that we're suffering from. Number one, I would say is father absence. We need to get our families back together. We have to stop letting the government raise us.
I do believe, I agree with some of the things you just said, but at the end of your point, you just mentioned a father absence and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And studies are actually shows that black men who are actually in their home participate with their children more than any other race.
Yeah.
So
Great.
So what you just said is a fallacy then?
No. I'm talking about when there's not a black father in the home, right? So every natural ill follows in the black community. So when you separate the black family, if you look at statistics between black families that are together and white families that are together, the poverty rate, I mean, they're both doing well. It's a 2-point difference between white and black families. When you remove and you break down the black family, it's unbelievable, right? It's a pathway to prison. It's a pathway to illiteracy. So I'm only talking about broken down black families. I'm not saying when the black family unit is together. That brings us back to the Winslows, Family Matters, and the greatest show that was ever on television. I do want to get to more people. Thank you so much for your question.
Wow, like really, I love how eloquent and how fast and snappy and how well informed he is, and like he knows her onion, and it's just wonderful. Like statistics and like literally has an answer for every question being asked. I want you to know your take on this. Do you agree with her views? Or do you agree with her opinion? Well, with me, I believe when a family is together, especially um, and with the blacks, I believe we, you know, let me take that again. It's quite informative, and so far, I see, I agree with most of the things she said. But um, when a family, especially the black family, is together, I see there's low rates where the children transition properly. Like they have a figure putting them through life, compared when the father is absent, you know, like when a single parent or a single um, a mother raising a child, like with statistics, you see most of them join gangs and all that and all that. I'm not saying being raised by a single mother is bad, or you must definitely end up in prison or doing something illegal. But let's look at um, let's look at with statistics, children who are with both parents like end up doing much more better, especially the family tend to be at a better position than others. So far, let me know what you think about some of um, her opinions or her takes on this, guys. Let's continue.
First of all,
Hi.
Hi. First of all, thank you for coming to the campus.
Thank
Second
you.
of all, I was wondering if you could speak a little bit more to your faith. As a Christian myself, I know you're a Christian. I saw the video you put up about the Christian debate with your husband and Ali B. Stuckey. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit more about your faith and how that's kind of inspired you.
Yeah, so, well, you know then that I am sort of in between a rock and a hard place right now. I am Protestant. My husband is Catholic. I'm looking more at the Catholic faith for a lot of different reasons. First and foremost, because I do believe that males lead the household, and so my children are being raised Catholic right now. And so currently at our house, we go to 2 different churches, which is not ideal, but for holidays we go to the Catholic Church. I was raised by my grandfather. He was by the book, when I say in terms of the Bible. The reason why he was never invested in secularism of any sort is because he thought that all of it was the devil. He was like that devout of a Christian. He didn't celebrate any holidays, and really kept to really just his faith and his family. And so I always say that I was very immersed in scripture when I was a child, and then I very much resented it once I got into school because it wasn't cool to be a person that read the Bible. It still isn't cool to be a person that has faith, especially if you're on a college campus. It's something that is looked down upon. And it's actually one of the pillars of leftism that I wish I had talked about tonight is atheism, which was also crucial to Marxist beliefs. You were not allowed to have faith if you lived in a socialist or a communist society, because they wanted the government to become your God. They wanted you to believe in nothing else but the government. And you're seeing that take place today as atheism is being encouraged.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I've been wanting this for a while. So my name is Joshua. I am from Brentwood, New York. You guys should Google Joshua Chan, Brentwood, New York. Great person. I'm great. Anyway, So just it's about health. I want to switch to healthcare. My favorite topic in the world. I love
What's
health.
that?
Healthcare.
Healthcare.
Okay.
Great.
Ms. Owens, I'd like to begin
Disaster.
by underscoring the importance of healthcare as a fundamental right. Many Americans, including working class white, black, Hispanic conservatives, believe that everyone should have access to quality healthcare without financial barriers. Additionally, as conservatives also prioritize fiscal responsibility, it's worth noting that the United States spends more money on healthcare than any developed nation, yet lags behind in health outcomes. It's a situation where it seems like we're paying too much and not getting enough in return. And this is the question now. Conservative healthcare policies have often emphasized individual choice and market-based solutions. However, it's been observed that private health insurance companies often prioritize profit margins over patient care and can lead to administrative inefficiencies. In contrast, universal healthcare systems, as seen in many developed countries, not only ensure that healthcare is a human right for all, but also achieve a greater cost-effectiveness and efficiency. From a moral and fiscal standpoint, it's a compelling argument to eliminate the middleman, reduce administrative costs, and negotiate lower drug prices to make healthcare more accessible and affordable for all Americans. Lastly, no one in this room likes their health insurance company. No one. Essentially, especially when the health insurance companies deny care. People like their doctor.
Okay, I get it.
Last question. Sorry.
I get
So,
it.
how can conservative healthcare policies align with these moral principles of equity and compassion and ensure that everyone can access healthcare without financial hardship?
Okay. We're gonna do two more questions after this, maybe. Okay, that's a long one. Two more, guys. I'm sorry, we're not gonna be able to get to all of you. So. First and foremost, the healthcare system is an absolute disaster. I have an entire episode where I sat down with someone and discussed this. People wrongly believe that what's currently happening is our healthcare in America is an example of capitalism in the free markets. It absolutely is not. It is the exact opposite. The fact that you walk in to a clinic, you don't know what anything costs. You're essentially blindfolded. You go to the hospital and then you get a magical bill and they say, oh, that Tylenol that you had, we didn't tell you it cost $400 for one tablet is just completely wrong. America is not an example of free markets and being able to actually choose. So that is the first problem, is that the bureaucracies, everything behind it just needs to completely die. If we actually had a free market solution to healthcare, and it's interesting because I'm married to someone that's from the UK, where yes, they do have government-sponsored healthcare via the NHS, but it's a disaster, and they're all able to pay privately, and they're able to compete and give people the lower price. It's phenomenal. So an example of that Charlie Kirk always gives is LASIK surgery. Back when LASIK surgery was being covered by insurance, it was astronomical, the price to get your eyes fixed. And then insurance said, we'll no longer cover it. We consider it to be cosmetic. And now you can get your eyes fixed with LASIK for like $3,000. So it went from being $25,000 per an eye to $3,000 because they allowed competition. So when health insurance companies were actually removed from the equation, it then became a free market environment, and doctors were going, okay, I'll compete, and here's how much I'm willing to do it for. So all of that needs to be disrupted so that doctors can actually compete for our dollars. And I think the health insurance companies are an absolute scam, and I hope that it collapses in the near future. So I'm trying to get two more questions. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, I get it. But health, it's an important topic, so I'm glad you brought it up.
Hi. So you mentioned earlier about the importance of reading and how that helps people be more enlightened and speak and think more freely. What do you think about that when we're thinking about book bans happening in states like Florida?
So I want to be careful because now we're getting a lot of books, and I'm not sure that they are the books that should be in classrooms, like White Fragility, which they're passing around, which is just really state topics that are being implanted into people's head. I'm talking about true education, like people actually learning hard academics and not fluffy ideologies. But what book ban are you talking about when they're banning like CRT?
I believe there's been a variety of books related to...
But they're not banning you from buying them. They're saying we're not going to have them in the school system.
Yes, at school,
totally
libraries,
fine.
and it's also with LGBTQ plus books and related topics.
For kindergartners, yeah. I think sexuality and little 5-year-olds don't mix.
Okay, that's one insightful video, and she's just awesome. The way she is vast in different questions being thrown at her, and like it's just wonderful. Like it's informative, insightful, blends a couple of things, and yeah, let me know what you think about this, your opinion, and you agree with most of the things she's saying, because like what she's saying, Christianity, faith, um, skin color, a whole lot. Like it's just beautiful to learn this. So I've been following her on some of her videos on a podcast, and like she's good, like she's really good. So guys, let me know what you think about this particular video. Do you agree with most of the things she's saying or not, guys? And if you have any other video you want me to react, you can leave us in the comment section and definitely do justice to that. Guys, see you coming away next time. Bye.